What up, guys? This is Hellraider here, the Codfather, bringing you a gameplay on the map Gibraltar. This is a beta gameplay. I just want to get that out there right now. I'm using the STG. I'm using this gameplay because, one, I did really good. It's really disgusting, actually. And two, I want to talk about the pros and cons of World War II Call of Duty. The pros are definitely a little bit smaller on the list than the cons are. Pros. The social space. Social space is cool. You get to interact with other players. A lot of activities to do. There's the retro games, crazy stuff like that. The 1v1 pit's kind of fun too if you want to just mess around with your friends and get like a slight idea of like the pick ban system for competitive. The contracts and mission system I thought was really cool. If you played Black Ops 1, you would know about the contracts. You spend your in-game points to buy a contract to hopefully fulfill it for a greater reward. These contracts can span from kills to headshots to certain game modes to capture points, whatever. You're basically using your extra in-game currency to get extra rewards or get more rewards per day. Now, the other missions are, there's daily missions. There's like 6 or 8 of them, I believe. And those can pretty much revolve around the same thing as the contracts, except those are free and you can only hold like 3 or 4 of them at a time. There's also weekly missions, which you can only hold 3 of, and then it gives you all week to complete them. Those are a little bit on the longer end to complete, like 500 total kills, 300, like 25 wins or 50 wins. A little bit on the longer side, basically. And then there's the special contracts, which I don't know if they have a timer or not, but I don't know what they actually give you. But those are a little bit of another challenge you can work towards in-game also. The emblem creator's back, that's also nice, just like Black Ops 2, 3, Infinite Warfare, all that good stuff. The supply drop system is purely cosmetic and also taken from MWR. If you haven't played MWR or Modern Warfare Remastered, they have a supply drop system based on currency, or like salvage, if you will. You basically chisel away at bigger packages to unlock the final item, or you can be lucky enough to get that final item in the package. There's still like common and rare supply drops. You earn those by completing the missions and contracts, and also like weekly missions and stuff. It tells you what the rewards are before you pick them up, so keep that in mind. You can also get random supply drops for completing matches, which I thought was cool. And the way you open supply drops now is you go to the headquarters and you throw the flare on the headquarters and it drops down right in front of you and opens up for everyone to see. If people like commend you or basically interact with you and watch you, you can actually gain real social space experience and real multiplayer experience, which I thought was really nice. Also, in the supply drops, there are no stat-changing variants. There are variants in ways where they give you aesthetically different-looking guns, and they provide like a slight perk or bonus. The perk isn't anything extreme. It'll be like more division experience or more weapon experience or something minor, like 10% at a time. So you won't really actually see it, but it's just kind of nice. It also makes the weapon look aesthetically way different compared to what it does normally. It can look junkier, it can look gold, it can look regal, it can look like a pimp had it in the 1940s, whatever you want. There's pretty cool. There's the ones that are shown in game right now are the ones you can unlock like through the quartermaster, whatever you want to call her, and by chiseling away at them. But there are also versions or variants that aren't in her quartermaster that you can only get in supply drops and only be found there. But they don't, like I said, they're not stat changing. It's just aesthetically pleasing. You get camos, pistol grips, a bunch of other cool stuff. Camos this time around look pretty good. Everything is in the World War II timeline. Nothing looks out of place, at least not yet. You won't see unicorn camos or weed camos or, you know, like glowy, flashy, ridiculous, futuristic camos or anything like that. At least not yet. As for weapons, there is a good majority of weapons. They sound good. They sound like strong and clunky and like mechanically inclined and all that other good stuff. But keep that in mind. It'll wear quickly. There's only so many per category, and the aesthetics will only change so much. So let's start with the cons. We'll skip past the fact that day 1, I couldn't log into multiplayer for at least 3 hours. At that point, I gave up, played some campaign, went to sleep. Couldn't log in the multiplayer. The back-end stuff seems like there's kind of something wrong or something not quite right. Like, load times are really off. It takes a really long time just to load into multiplayer. If you complete a match, it'll take 3 or 4 minutes, like how the beta begun to even just get to the end game screen, it feels like it takes forever. And by the time you hit the end game screen, the next match is already started and loading. So I think they need to fix that and optimize it definitely for sure. I feel like there's other issues besides that going on too. I feel like there's some server lag. I'm having a lot of problems with shoot first, die first. If you don't know what that means, the most closely related game I can call to that is definitely Call of Duty Ghosts. And it's when you get like 3 bullets on and then they butter you. It seems like they shoot you twice and you die instantly. For shoot first, die first is kind of a big problem. I hope they fix that. To go along with that, I think time to kill is definitely a little too fast. With boots on the ground, since you can't like finesse and move around and have the maneuverability to, like get around people and like outplay them, I think time to kill needs to be toned down a little bit. It needs to be somewhere just a little bit slower. Right now, it really feels like you cannot challenge anything. And because you can't challenge, a lot of people, and because you're dying so fast, a lot of people are playing a lot less aggressively. They're playing super cautious, sitting in corners, using that extra sensory to hear your footsteps, sitting behind. Like if you shoot them and they get away, they're gonna sit right on that corner, crouched or prone, or just waiting for you to walk by. They're playing super reserved. So and may I tell you, if you are damaged, probably not a good idea to challenge gunfights. Speaking about gunfights, you're definitely going to want to do squad up. This game is super difficult. If you're like kind of like a core player for Call of Duty and you've been playing forever, you definitely want to look into squatting up. This game, you're not gonna be seeing the same scores you're used to. Like in Infinite Warfare, I am definitely used to seeing some like 4.0s, 5, 6.0 KDs. In this game, I'm getting 2s, if 2s, and it's hard. It's stupidly hard. With that said, since it's being so hard, and the only time I do really well, I need to try really hard. And I feel like I'm sweating every time I'm doing moderately okay. And that's not fun to me. I shouldn't be sweating to have to do just okay. Next thing on the agenda is create a class. I don't know why Sledgehammer decided to fuck with create a class. Create a class is perfect. They should have just left it right the way it was. Pick 10. If you didn't want to do pick 10, you wanted a more classic Call of Duty flavor, if you will, definitely should have went back to Modern Warfare style Call of Duty. 3 perks, gun, 2 attachments, pistol, lethal, and a tactical grenade, and then your kill streaks. Bam, done. Easy the way it is. Nope, didn't do that. They decided to make this weird create a class system, trying to copy Battlefield or whatever have you, and have these roles fulfilled, if you will. Well, now I can't counter things. There's no way to make a class to be able to counter the current meta. If somebody has a UAV in the air, you just better hope that you have a counter UAV, or you're running the right division at the right time. Otherwise, you're just kind of screwed and you're on the minimap. Speaking of minimap, there are no suppressors for any weapons besides submachine guns. I get it, it's World War II. Suppressors and for big guns and like louder or high caliber rifles didn't exist. Fine. Yeah, bitch, it's called a flash hider. Flash hiders will keep you off the minimap. It might not suppress the noise of your weapon, but it should take you off the minimap and provide an attachment to at least be a little bit stealthier in-game and allow players, set up a class in a way where it becomes a flankable approach, where I could use the M19 A11 and use a grip and a silencer and be able to shoot some bunch of people in the back because I'm flanking and playing the map smart, and not just be screwed sitting on the mini-map even though I'm spraying a bunch of bullets. Speaking about spraying bullets, there is no aim assist in the console version of World War II Call of Duty. Why does that sound weird to you? Well, every Call of Duty on console, actually every first-person shooter on console, has aim assist to some degree. Now, Call of Duty in the past has reduced aim assist in like sniper rifles, so it has none, but it's never reduced aim assist on everything. Aim assist helps you as a console player to be a little bit more accurate with the joysticks, because sometimes joysticks can get a little wonky. With that said, I find it extremely difficult to believe that there's any kind of aim assist in multiplayer right now. I have trouble keeping on target with like submachine guns, especially since they're high firing and they bounce a little bit when people do weird movements, and I get buttered up and die. Now, I don't know why they made aim assist so minimal, or if they took it away, or what have you, or if it's just a glitch right now, and some people have it and some people don't. I don't know. But that should have stayed in. Console players need that. It's not keyboard and mouse, guy. Come on, help me out. I think my last and final complaint I have to talk about this game is weapon balance. Obviously, weapon balance isn't going to be perfect on day one. We know that. Whatever. With that said, STG is still a little too good right now. Type 100 is nice, but not too bad. The FG42 is still ridiculously good. I feel like LMGs are really shitty, in a bad place. They're not shitty. They're definitely strong, but they can't compete in the same way that assault rifles can or are doing right now, and I think that needs to be buffed a little bit, or at least changed a little bit more to reflect that. Shotguns are still in a garbage place. They definitely make you solely rely on incendiary rounds to do any kind of damage. I don't understand how a trench gun, actually, that is a shotgun, that you shoots buckshot basically, only shoots 3 pellets out per shot. They need to change that, and they need to change hip fire for them, make it make more sense. I hope to see this game prosper in a different way, but as for right now, if I want a boots on the ground game, I'm probably going to play MWR. This just isn't the Call of Duty I want. This makes me think of COD Ghosts, and I didn't like COD Ghosts. I really hated COD Ghosts, and I shouldn't feel this way. Literally today, I played like 6 hours of this game, and I played a lot of it solo. I had like 1 or 2 good games. I had a couple domination games, whatever have you. But at the end of the day, I just wasn't having fun. And if you're not having fun, then what's the point of playing? Speaking of not having fun and not point of playing, if you're a casual player, this might not be the Call of Duty for you. If you're a hardcore like Call of Duty fanatic, you might eventually get into it and might eventually appreciate it. But if you're casual, you're probably just going to end up sitting in corners, staring at doors, and waiting for people to walk into your line of sight. If you think that's fun, then, have fun with it. But for me, that's not good enough. I'm going to play something else. Okay, guys, hope I didn't terribly affect your opinion, but it's just my honest opinion of the game right now and the current state of affairs. If you guys enjoyed the gameplay or have any comments or any questions for me, please leave it in the comment section down below. And as for now, this is Hellraider signing off.